All right, Tracy, we're back again.
Back again.
Service delivery from a payroll perspective. There's a lot of talk around should we insource, should we outsource, should we do a hybrid? What are you seeing in that service delivery space?
So it's a really interesting one because it used to be that you would outsource because you didn't have the skills internally, the knowledge internally, or the sort of the computing power. You know, this is back in the day, sort of 30 years ago when I first started in the payroll industry. But now we have, there's more, my 13-year-old's got more technology skills than, I had when I left university. The cost of computing is low. The cost of technology is actually coming down too. So why would you outsource and why would you keep payroll in-house? There's definitely still a trend for global employers to have global payroll outsource providers. I don't see that working well in general in Australia, mainly because if you're a global employer and you've probably got a small proportion of your employees in Australia, and that doesn't mean small numbers. You could have 1,000, but you're still small in terms of the global employee footprint. That can be problematic when you just have to use a particular vendor and you have to do it the way that it works in the US and Europe and other places in the world. Where I see outsourcing working really well is in that mid-market where there's good payroll people are expensive, right? You want the good skills, you're going to pay for them. There's a real if you've got someone who really knows what they're doing and can really add that value, there's a lot of employers who want that person. So just purely supply and demand is going to push the price up. So if you've got 2, 3, even 400 employees, you probably can't afford the type of talent that you want in your pay office. So that's where I see outsourcing could be a real benefit. The problem is traditional outsourcing, you're literally just outsourcing the labour. It's just a labour arbitrage. The only way that an outsourced provider can make money is to provide that labour cheaper than you can, which means they're going to get less qualified staff or fewer of them, and you're going to get generally a poor service. And that's the feedback that we're hearing from employers saying, we thought we were going to outsource and it would solve all our problems, but it hasn't. It's actually made it worse, and our employees are cranky. So I like this. I need a new acronym actually. It's kind of like a payroll as a service, but you can't use PAAS because that's been taken by platforms. But this literally payroll as a service where you're picking up a pay office and you're putting it somewhere else. So you're outsourcing the whole function. So you're getting, and the only way that those companies can make money is if they provide a really good service and they're really efficient. So they will get paid, if you like, through their efficiency, not just by giving you a product at a cheaper cost. So the old-fashioned outsourcing is just get cheaper labour and do the same job. The new outsourcing that I'm seeing that I'm really liking is getting better qualified people, but being more efficient, giving a higher quality of service, and actually having your employees, don't call HR or payroll or finance when you've got a payroll problem, call the actual managed payroll service provider.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to a lot of those things we were talking about earlier on as well. You can't outsource it unless you understand what it is,
Absolutely.
How it works, what the results are that you're
Don't
expecting.
outsource a problem because that just makes a small or medium problem into a really big problem.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get it right, then you should be able to get from the outsourcer that strategic knowledge that we were talking about earlier on to make sure that you're ahead of the game and ready for what's coming next.
And I think that really works in that mid-market. Larger employers, huge employers, tens of thousands of employees, they might outsource for more strategic reasons. So, but that's certainly that mid-level, I think outsourcing can be really valuable.
Excellent.
In the right environment.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing your views on service delivery.
Anytime.